the Pound, Confederation College Radio.
It is. Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Derbyline. After this epic weekend of roller derby bouts happening far and wide, we're discussing the business of roller derby tonight. From league administration to derby entrepreneurs, we talk about everything it takes to keep roller derby on the track. And with me in studio tonight is the marketing chair for the Thunder Bay Roller Derby League, Shinobi-Wan Kenobi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How is it going tonight, Shinobi?
Really good, thank you. A little tired after practice today, but doing good.
Yeah, so you are a recent draftee to the El Capone's home team here in Thunder Bay. How are things going with the first bout of the season coming up for the El Capones?
I think it's looking good for the Els. Personally, I won't be ready to play because I'm coming back from an injury, but no, the girls are looking really good. They're looking tight, and I think they might take it this year.
Oh, yeah, okay. So before we get too far into this, I'll mention that, of course, we're live tonight if you're watching us on camptv.ca, and you're welcome to call in and give us your opinion if you have things to say about the business of Derby. If you saw an awesome bout, of which there were so many this weekend, you're welcome to give us a call. Our number is 807-473-3800, or get involved on the chat board on camptv.ca there, and we can even give you a call if you like. So, we're happy to hear from you if you like. So, Shinobi, I know that you are the marketing chair for Thunder Bay Roller Derby at this point. Could you give us a little timeline of how you have advanced to this position, how you kind of got into Derby, where you started out, and just like a quick 15-second synopsis of your Derby career?
Well, a year ago, I wasn't living in Thunder Bay yet, but I met you guys actually at one of your after parties for your first bout last year. And that night changed my life, so I went back to Barrie and started doing a fresh meet with the Alliston League. And we moved here August 1st, so I did another fresh meet with the Thunder Bay League, and everything kind of snowballed from there. I got involved in marketing fairly quickly, and it started with a co-chair position because I was so new to the league.
Okay.
And then now I'm the chair.
Okay. So you found out about roller derby in Thunder Bay, but then we're still living in Alliston. So did you go back to Alliston and just immediately hook up with the league there and get things going?
Oh, I was lucky that the timing was perfect. When we got back to Barrie, the Alliston League was starting a fresh meet like the next week.
Okay.
And I had actually ordered skates and pads and everything while I was still here in Thunder Bay from my hotel room. Yay for the internet.
Yeah, awesome. So you did fresh meet there, and were you just kind of hooked right away? Like you knew you wanted to be involved in Derby?
Oh, yeah. I was hooked before I even started the fresh meet, just, doing research online and watching stuff on YouTube. And it's amazing how quickly it becomes all-consuming. It's a change of lifestyle.
Yeah. For sure. And how soon was it were you involved? Because, I mean, obviously, at this point, you're quite involved in the sort of back end of the league, the administrative workings from marketing to everything else that you do. Were you involved in Alliston right away? Did you get involved in sort of the back end of the league there?
No.
Okay, so you were just kind of learning to skate, getting your
I was
bearings.
just learning to skate, yeah.
But then when you came to Thunder Bay, you dove in pretty quickly to helping out with the league in terms of marketing and design. Was that more because there was the call for help, or was it you really wanted to get involved and give as much as you could?
I really wanted to get involved, but also Thunder Bay, it's a city that's relatively close in size to where I was living, but people have a small town mentality, it seems, here. So everybody was very welcoming, very encouraging, and it was really easy to devote so much time to Derby. And coming from in Barrie, I was working full time, and now I'm just doing freelance graphic design from home, so I've got lots of time to devote to Derby.
Right. Yeah. And your background as a designer, obviously, that is comes in quite handy.
Yeah,
when it comes to roller derby. I mean, a lot of things, but was that sort of the first skill that you offered up in terms of getting involved in the league?
Totally. Marketing was the only committee I considered at first because I felt it was the only place I'd be able to contribute anything because my financial skills are needing some work. But marketing, I felt like I could at least contribute something with years working in the design industry, not just as a graphic designer, but wearing multiple hats depending on where I was working at the time.
Mm-hmm. And what other things are you doing now? So you started in marketing, and what other sort of back end things are you performing? I mean, you're a chair, so that's in Thunder Bay. That's one of the sort of like the chairs basically form a kind of board of directors in Thunder Bay, correct?
Yes.
So you help guide the league in that way. Are you involved in other committees as well?
Just recently, I've been getting more involved in operations. That's a lot of work. I don't envy the operations chair trying to organize all that, and the fundraising committee, marketing and fundraising, kind of have to work closely together to make things work. So I'm getting more involved.
So you're
with
all over.
yeah. Every week there's a meeting of some variety.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you did have an injury. At one point, you broke your leg? Correct?
Yes, I broke my ankle. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of looked at me like, what? So at what time of year was that you broke your ankle?
It happened January 16th.
Okay.
At one of our endurance practices. No contact involved, just skating by myself, and it happened.
Yeah, always the way. I don't think I've ever seen a leg break actually happen from contact. It's always just a weird.
And so the next day it was in getting surgery.
Right, but you were already quite involved in the league by that point.
Yes.
So you'd already, might have even been co-chair by that
yes,
point.
actually, I think I may have been chair at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you were able to really maintain a relationship with roller derby despite the fact that you weren't even hitting the track a couple times a week. So you were off skates, but you were still quite involved, and I mean, I saw you maybe as much as I still see you now. What was it like maintaining that relationship with Derby without being involved in the actual sort of sporting side of it?
I think my position in the marketing committee is what kept me so active in roller derby. Anybody that's been injured can identify with the emotional struggles, and there's some depression issues. If it hadn't been for my involvement in marketing, I don't know if I would have kept any connections while I was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but you were able to really, you found the community was still just as supportive.
Oh, yeah. Actually, everybody's amazing. And you have a league of these strong, intelligent women, and lots of them are mothers, and, we've all got a nurturing side to us, not to sound sexist, but I just couldn't believe the support and the love I was getting from the members of my league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess especially since you'd only moved here a short time ago. You'd just done fresh meat and sort of graduated into league, right?
Yeah, and then you guys became family pretty quick. Yeah.
Oh, geez. So I guess let's talk a bit about marketing Derby. So you are quite involved in the marketing of the league here. How do you find it is to brand a league like Thunder Bay Roller Derby in a town like Thunder Bay? So a fairly small-sized town. You might reach a fairly limited audience with something like social media. So, you might have to, explore other avenues, or you might have to get really involved in one thing or the other. What do you find is sort of the biggest struggle about getting the word out? Or
Well, it's difficult, too, because we're kind of an isolated city. There's not much close to us. And there's no other leagues really close. I think is the closest Duluth.
Probably so. They're about 3 hours from Thunder Bay.
Yeah. So you're limited to just the residents of the city you're living in. The way things seem to be going every year, everything seems to be getting more electronic based. But we still focus on getting out, like our street crew. They're out there on their skates and talking to people, and right downtown all over the city. So I think that really helps too, the involvement, the personability they show as well. When they're talking to people downtown, it really gets people excited about the sport. Instead of just seeing an image or seeing a headline that there's going to be a roller derby bout, they're actually meeting the girls, and I think that helps.
Right, so that personal connection really matters. And I mean, I guess it's kind of weird to think about the fact that your product is actually your skaters in a way, right? I mean, it's the sport too, but I mean, the thing that you're really popularizing is the way that the league is built on a grassroots foundation. Everything is done by the skaters. You know, we do all our own marketing and things like that. So that's really what you have to make clear to fans as well, is that, you know, it's not like just a show. You know, it's really something that we've put our hearts and souls into, and we're promoting it for you. So that personal connection totally matters. I mean, do you feel like there's a lot of, like, the biggest hurdle would be audience education in that way? Just letting
I think
people
so.
know?
Yeah, because lots of people that I've encountered ask if it's staged like wrestling. You know, they think it's they think it's like in the 70s where it's all theatrics, but it's a serious sport, and there's a lot of serious work that has to go into it. And I think us talking to people and educating people, they get excited, especially once they really get excited about the sport aspect and following a team and cheering, and so that's exciting to see.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, you kind of came in at the tail end of the home season, but I mean, you know, now Thunder Bay has both home teams and travel teams to promote.
Yes.
And do you feel like it's easier to promote one or the other, or to sell one or the other?
It's a little bit easier, I think, to sell a travel team. Again, I'm this is my first year doing the marketing chair position, so I don't have much to compare it to. But people get excited about seeing your A team playing against another A team. They know it's going to be pretty serious.
Yeah, hometown pride.
Yeah,
all that.
Exactly.
Things are on the line. And as far as finding new audiences go, do you find it's really just like being able to put yourselves out there, make that connection, and skate around downtown, hand out flyers, just hitting the streets?
Yeah, and try to hit as many venues as possible, like in the streets, online, you know, through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and anywhere. Yeah.
And I guess another thing I would ask is, when you're thinking about branding a league, you're kind of thinking cohesively. So you're thinking about how to get the message out, the same message out in sort of each audience, right? Like, you're trying to brand that league. Yes. Is there any special thing you try to do for that in terms of, you know, imagery or anything like that?
Well, I'm really lucky that on the committee we have 3 graphic designers. So you're one of them, and you guys are amazing. In what you do. I'm thankful I don't really have to do much, because you guys got it all covered.
Oh my gosh, you do plenty.
But the photography really helps. It's our skaters on every poster, and I think that helps make it more personal as well. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just being able to push that. I mean, it's kind of the similar thing, just being able to show, you know, the skaters themselves and present that really human side to the league, and present that grassroots side.
Yeah.
In terms of operations and fundraising, even crossing over with that, how much does marketing have to do, you know, in terms of crossing over with other committees? How much do you have to talk to, let's say, a person from fundraising or operations, and really try to make things mesh?
Well, say for fundraising, for example, if we're holding a fundraising event, if we want to get people out to that event and make some money for the league, we need to market it correctly so that we get people there. So we really have to have the lines of communication open between the 2 committees to make sure we have all the info required to get it out to the public as soon as possible, to get them excited and to get them to come out.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And in terms of operations, I mean, probably the biggest thing that a team needs to promote, or a league needs to promote, is their season and
Yes.
and bouts, right? So bout production is a pretty huge task.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you have to keep everything very organized.
Yeah, keep
That's for
everything
sure.
very organized, and just try to cover all the bases in terms of, you know, ads in newspapers, social media. What kinds of outlets do you use to do that, to really get the word out in a town where some people are online, some people aren't? Like, what kinds of venues do we use to do that?
We try to hit up as many places as possible, whether it's through local listings for events that are going on, our Facebook page, Twitter, posters throughout the city, word of mouth even, and we're looking at moving further to like even just advertising on our own cars. Then we're hitting the whole city.
Yeah.
It sounds I don't know, but
Well, I mean, that's one of the
You're
great
hitting
things
lots of
about
people.
roller derby, right? Is that the sky's really the limit because, we the skaters who are also running the league are kind of defining what it means to be a roller derby league and promote it and, kind of self-discovery along the way. So you can do things like, we'll just put our league logo on our cars, which is pretty excellent. I know there's been some talk of new sort of social media strategies in the league. Stuff like Instagram contests and stuff like that. Do you feel like that'll have a good effect on the fans that we have, or bring in new fans?
I'm hoping it'll do both, but it also gives a chance for fan involvement instead of us just always advertising at people or towards people. We're trying to get them involved. To come out to the bouts and like our next bout's going to be the best fan sign. So they need to take a picture of themselves at our bout with their sign, and then the winner will get two tickets to our next game. We're also looking at doing a YouTube channel, much like Dove's Campaign for Beauty, but we're thinking maybe along the lines of Campaign for Strength. It's still in the works, but to again inspire, hopefully get some involvement and show that there's more than just our alias names and fishnets and short shorts. We're strong women and
And I mean, I think a lot of roller derby's message really is encompassed in that. So a lot of it really is about female empowerment. And as much as, I mean, you want to brand a league to make money, a lot of branding the roller derby league is just about helping it grow as its own community, right?
Exactly.
So how much marketing do you even need to do within a league? Like, how much do you have to help communicate the message of the vision of the league to league members, to new people, especially? Let's say fresh meat come in, they're kind of like, what is the league all about? They show up for practice a couple times a week, and that's mostly what they see people. How do you kind of get the message for what the sport is, can be? How do you kind of communicate that to skaters? Or how did you find it was communicated to you, let's say, even when you joined?
Again, I was really lucky that everybody was so welcoming and just amazing, taking you right under their wing, explaining their experiences, and just really inspiring each other. I'm hoping we do that for new people that come in now. Maybe we should look at a more extensive welcome to Derby package.
Well, I know
off skates.
Yeah, exactly. Bless you. I know that even sometimes it's difficult to even communicate within a league, right? So our league has a newsletter that goes out once a week, and we try to get everything in there, but sometimes there's people that don't check their email as frequently. What are some of the challenges and ways that you deal with the kind of those intercommunication things? Because I think that falls under the marketing committee too, right?
It does. So. Unfortunately, I haven't devoted much time to that.
I mean,
I hate to admit it because the season's just started, so it's terrible to admit, but it's been swept up with the bouts coming up.
Right.
I hope people would feel comfortable if there was something to come forward, but. Yeah. Other than the newsletter, we talk on Facebook a lot. We have the forum on the website that you created.
Geez, this is like.
Yeah, actually, the online communications seem to be what's most effective because everybody is so busy. You have your Derby life, which is quite large, and then lots of people have school life or home life, work life.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to be able to get a one-on-one, so at least we always have that. No matter what time you get the message, you're getting a response.
Yeah,
I hope that helps.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I guess I'm just curious what other people's perception of it is, because I mean, from someone who kind of works in that, I mean, I kind of just do the work of the league in that way, but I don't really think about the strategy to communicate with people. So I guess I often wonder, like what we could be doing to, I guess, communicate more effectively within a league, just to make sure everybody. Because I mean, also it's hard with online communications. There's frequently misunderstandings.
Oh yeah.
There's frequently, people getting aggravated that other people aren't checking as much as they are, and
it's also very easy to misinterpret the written word. That is an issue.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it's not like we work at a regular job together. We go to practice a few times a week together, and that's if the message is going to be delivered in person, like that's where any messages would be delivered. But there's no time, so it's just that practice has to be practice. So it's not like,
exactly,
and you can only have so many meetings.
and then you're not guaranteed to always see each other. Sometimes you have to miss a practice. So Yeah, the in-person can be tricky sometimes, but we'll have to look at ways to improve that within our league.
Well, if anybody at home has anything that they
Any
can offer,
suggestions?
yeah, it's difficult. And I will give the number again one more time. It's 807-473-3800 if you do want to call and weigh in on any Derby business or saw an awesome bout last night. You can feel free to share it with us. So there's a lot of challenges involved, but I mean, overall, it's a totally rewarding job probably when you see so many people show up. For instance, we had, I think maybe a record turnout for Thunder Bay at the home opener a few weeks ago. I mean, that must be, kind of make it all worth it. When you see all these
it was a
show
little
up.
overwhelming. We ran out of tickets at the door. There was a lineup out the door, which is great, but. My goodness, we weren't anticipating that.
Yeah.
It was a nice surprise, but
yeah,
a big surprise.
And do you find when people do get to the bout, that it's an easy sell? Like you don't need to do any further sort of education or eye openers?
Yeah, well, we had lots of people that we personally knew. My husband and I come out to our first bout, and they had never really heard of it, or they had false ideas of what it was, and they came out and instantly hooked.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, we just ran into a guy today as I was coming out of practice, and he said he's bringing 7 people with him to the next game that have never been to Derby. So,
that's great.
Yeah, I think we're guaranteed 7 more fans right there.
Awesome. Well, I know we've got someone on the line who we're going to make it quick because she's on international time. So, I think we've got Georgia W. Tush on the line at this point. Georgia, or Georgia? What am I doing? Tush, are you there?
Yeah. Who?
Who am I talking to? How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Just woke me up from a car nap.
Oh, one of your famous car naps. So I know you have been all over the place. You played Philly last night, no big deal.
Yep.
And then drove to Albany this morning.
Yeah.
How was the game versus Philly last night? I know for me watching at home, it was Heart Attack City. I think we got you breaking up a little bit.
Both games were good. Our B team also played their B team. I think our B team lost by 6 points.
Oh, okay.
And then we played them, and then we lost by 8 points.
2 heartbreakers.
It was a really great game. Yeah, we've never been ahead of Philly like that before. I can't remember which ones we were ahead for most of the game. And then we lost the lead in the end.
Yeah, I think
it was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was totally an awesome game. I mean, I was watching from home, and I just was yelling at my computer the whole time. So I think at the first half it was 73-53. So you guys had them by 20 points at the half, but I know the lead was at least 40 at one point. So yeah, it was pretty impressive to see. I know. What were some, I guess, of the highlights of the game last night that you saw, or witnessed, or felt? Oh, we might have lost her. I know she's driving through Albany, so upstate New York, maybe not reliable. Anyway, if we get her back on the line, we will ask her about some highlights of the game, but it was pretty amazing to watch last night, actually. The skids were all over the place. It was just a really, really physical bout. You could tell they were really evenly matched. There was a lot of penalties, which I find does happen in those more even matches, so yeah, it was pretty incredible. So hopefully we can get her back on the line to talk about it. But if not, we got plenty of stuff to cover here. So some of the stuff from the bout, I guess, a couple weeks ago in terms of turnout, was there anything you felt we'd done differently to attract that audience, or is it just word kind of, do you think, slowly trickling out in Thunder Bay?
Well, I think part of it, every year you're going to have new members, and everybody's going to have something different to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And our league is pretty blessed. Like with every committee, there's some pretty amazing women involved, and the contributions they make are just phenomenal. I know we hit some new venues this year as far as advertising, even just in the local. The local papers, etc. Like we were saying before, under community events, and we put up, I think, it was at least 100 more posters than we normally do.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think that helped as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think we got Tush back on the line now. Tush.
Hi.
Oh hey. So I guess some of the highlights of the bout from last night. What did you feel or see?
It's really nice playing in Montreal. It's always fun because our crowd is so loud and crazy.
Yeah.
And that was the last game of the season in Montreal.
Okay.
Usually we get that awkward silence. So it's nice to actually have a lot of fans cheering for us.
Yeah, welcome Skids, and like one person claps usually when you're out of town. And do the home
weird,
the Montreal audience I know is super duper supportive of Montreal home teams, which play super frequently. Is the support there for the Skids as well, the All-Star team, when you guys play at home?
Yeah. Also with that, we kind of used to get an awkward silence at home from our fans. But now I think 7 years later, they finally get it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the Skids being a dedicated travel team for the most part, maybe they get it a little bit more as well. Like that's kind of the elite travel team of the league is kind of being filtered up. Do you think that's had an effect on it?
Yeah, and I think they recognize the skill level.
Okay.
At first, like our first few seasons, I don't think they really, I don't think they understood the game as much, but now you have a lot of fans that do understand the game and do recognize the skill level.
Right, yeah. So I guess I know we don't have a lot of time with you, so I want to kind of get through everything, but you founded Montreal Roller Derby, and I know you've basically done kind of every job in the league that there is, or just been super involved with the league for the entire
That's
time.
a treasure. I never want to be treasurer.
That was the one thing you turned down. Yeah, me too. And I guess you started Neon Skates a couple years ago, which is, a skate shop in Montreal, and now you guys have a shop in Ottawa too, all franchised. Was it kind of your skills that you developed as being part of the league and helping run the league that helped you sort of decide to launch Derby-specific business?
Yeah, well, I didn't really know much about skates when I first started. I knew nothing, but then I developed an interest in it and just all the different products out there and trying to recommend stuff to our league mates. And then I had to do something with my life because I had finished school.
Right.
And nothing else allowed me to do as much derby as this. So.
Right, and talk about skates all day and all that kind of thing. So it wasn't so much
work.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's work too. It's hard work. And I guess so that allowed you to kind of stay in Derby full time and do that kind of thing. How much did you feel like you have to promote almost yourself as a skater to be able to rep Neon Skates and to make it the success that it is? So people obviously know you as a skater. You're quite well known at this point, and
around.
You get around. You really do. And how much do you feel like people knowing about you as a skater and really respecting you as a skater role model has helped you kind of push the shop further? Or how much self-promotion do you feel like you have to do? I mean, I know you're good at it, so it doesn't feel like work, but...
Professional snoozer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would have opened up had I been able to do this. I mean, obviously, the Team Canada is being helped. Being in a really established league within Canada. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people that open skate shops that, have only been Derby in Derby for a year or so, and I think that's kind of crazy because part of it is really, that
Uh-oh. I think
Derby Tush is a business as much as the skates.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, people know that you know what you're talking about and have tried many products throughout 7 years of skating and whatnot. So they're able to go to you with those questions and really rely on your answers. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Yeah, and do you find the Derby audience is it's wide enough to be a specifically Derby shop? Like you're able to not only maintain a business, but to be a successful business based on a Derby audience alone?
Well, it's a lot of hard work because we do a lot of traveling. Like I was in Calgary with this shop last month. We're always around the East Coast. Sometimes we're in the States, not really that often. But it's actually not just roller derby. Like that is a big part of it, but there are a lot of recreational roller skaters that do come in the shop. So we're lucky to have them too.
Oh yeah, that's I guess they would.
And
they'd still
luckily,
be
they have
around.
limited options.
Right, exactly. Okay, cool. So, what's up, I guess, for either Neon Skates or George W. Tush?
Next week, I'm going to be at the Northeast Derby Convention
Awesome.
in Providence. I don't think that's a Providence accent, but and I'm
Close
going to
enough.
see you there.
Yes, yeah, I'll be there as well. So I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
that. I will definitely be stopping by your shop as I need to re-up. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I'm just coaching it then, and then shortly after that, we're playing Carolina and New Hampshire.
Okay, oh, great. And is that going to be in the same weekend?
Nope, that's June 9th, I
Okay,
think.
cool. Okay, well, we'll be definitely watching that. So thanks so much for taking time out. I know this is international for you as well, so
Of
really appreciate it.
my napkin.
Yeah, of your car napping.
My car nap.
You need it. You need to get to sleep where we can, man. Okay, well, thanks so much, Tush. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you next weekend.
No problem. Bye.
Bye-o. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of my kind of biggest things is I really wish a skate shop could be in every league because it's just so beneficial. Just being able to even try on gear before you buy it. In Thunder Bay, we're kind of at the mercy of the internet and trying to trace our foot to measure our skate the right way and that kind of thing. But
Yeah, it would definitely be convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Not having to send stuff back.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think our next caller is ready. We're going to talk to Rocket Mean, who is the executive director of the Rose City Rollers and an all-around derby know-it-all. She knows everything about roller derby. And Rocket Mean, are you there?
I am.
Oh, hi. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Great. So I know you're taking time out of a strategy meeting. Everybody's got stuff going on today in this insane weekend of Derby, but could you, I guess, describe your position in Rose City for us a bit and a very quick synopsis of kind of how you got there?
Sure. I am the founder and executive director of the Rose City Rollers. And I am also the sponsorship chair for the WFTDA.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone is echoing.
Okay.
Basically, me and a couple of friends got together and decided to form a roller derby league. And, it kind of blossomed from there where all of a sudden one day it was a matter of, well, are we going to take this and run with it? And two of the people said, no, this was just for fun. And I said, wow, this means a lot to a lot of people. So I ran with it.
Yeah. So your transition to executive director, I mean, for a league as small as maybe, let's say, Thunder Bay, that seems, out of this world. Like to be able to have a full-time Derby employee, it would just be incredible. Was it a slow transition or was it just something that you guys kind of decided to take the leap on one day to be able to have a paid Derby employee in Rose City?
Yeah, it was really kind of early on for us. It was 2006.
Okay. Wow, that is...
So it was definitely on the earlier side for most leagues to have something like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time with the echoing. Crazy.
Okay, sorry about that. We can try calling you
but
back.
It was one of those things where we started growing really quickly. I think it's kind of just indicative of Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden we had like 150 people.
Okay, wow.
And it was like, we need somebody who's in charge of this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having great success